What is going on, guys and gals? We actually just got up here to the property. It is Thanksgiving Day, and we had a little bit of time to waste before we went to the family's house and had dinner. So we decided to drive up here and let the kids play, hang out. And I want to give you all a quick little tour of the property. So a quick little rundown of the property. My grandparents actually bought this land probably 35 years ago. It was one big giant farm that ended up getting auctioned off into separate properties, and my granddad and his dad ended up buying, I think, 36 maybe 37 acres right here. And I love the place, the way it's set up. It's right in this valley. We're right dead in the center of a valley. And then this was actually like a cattle pond, a small cattle pond that my granddad and them brought an excavator up here, dug it out, opened it up, built this dam, and it has 2 springs coming out of each one of these valleys that feed it. So this pond stays full all the time. It's stocked with largemouth bass, catfish, bluegill, giant bluegill, like 30-year-old bluegill. They're massive, and a couple grass carp that keep it, you know, relatively clean. But the whole point of this video is to give you all a quick little tour of the little building that we brought up here and turned into a little off-grid cabin. So let's take a look and kind of show you all what we've done so far, and tell y'all some of the things that I want to do in the next year to make this place a little bit better, a little bit funner for the kids. And yeah, any ideas that you all have, you can leave them in the comments, and I'll definitely look at them and take those into consideration. So yeah, let's take a little tour and look around what we've done. So this little building started out as an office down next to my dad's house. And you know, that was probably 10 years ago when we bought this thing. I think we ended up paying like $7,500 for it. And after we quit using it as an office, it sat there for a few years, and I had the idea of turning it into a little cabin. And I could picture it sitting here right on this little dam. We used to set up tents and camp, but I was like, how cool would it be to move that little building up there and turn that into a little cabin right on the water? And it was a perfectly little flat spot right here in this corner that I almost knew that cabin would sit perfectly in this little spot, and it ended up doing that. So we paid a guy to deliver it. He was able to drive all the way up the alley until he got right here to the end of this little grass road, and he had to back it down right beside this creek, and it was really sketchy. His tire almost slid down into the creek because it just kind of gives away. It's really wet, it gets moist, and this little area just stays saturated. He was able to back it up to about right here on the dam. And he couldn't get no further because, like I said, it stays wet. And it is a pretty steep incline, as you can see. It gets steeper over there, and it's a little less steep. But luckily, we had a family member that lived relatively close that had a bobcat that was nice enough to bring it up here, get under the back end of this little cabin, and lift it up and push it up here to where we were able to get it leveled out, put blocks under it. And it has been here ever since, probably 6 years now. One of the first things I did was build this little awning off the back, and I took some old metal off the old trailer down there, and that's where we're able to still store a lot of our firewood to keep it dry if we want to come up here and build little fires at nighttime on the dam, do the whole s'mores thing and a little bit of light and stuff. And especially during these colder months, build us a nice fire and sit out here. One of the next things we did was, like I said, this is all trying to do this as affordable as possible, the least amount of money, but make it work. So the next thing we did was buy the Harbor Freight 100-watt solar panels. I got a buddy that's an electrician that come up here. He had all this stuff laying around from jobs. He wired it up. We dug a little small trench over to the over to the cabin, and we built this little battery box, covered it up with this piece of sheet metal, and those batteries have been in there ever since. I think we've got 4 just car batteries, and they have worked amazing. They've been in there for 5 years. They power this spotlight, and I'll show you all everything we have set up on the inside. We built this little arbor for shade, being able to sit here on the dam when it's sunny, or if it starts raining, we can sit underneath this thing and fish. But that's one of my projects coming up this summer, is to buy a 4x4 post and some 2x4s and redo this thing in pressure treated wood, because this is rotten and it probably ain't gonna last much longer. I actually had to rig it up the first time I come up here this season, about a month ago. This had actually rotted and collapsed, and the only thing holding these solar panels up was this a piece of aluminum. So I just cut this down really quick, stuck it up, and hopefully this will hold out till this spring when I can come up here with some pressure treated wood and rebuild this a little bit nicer. And I want to stain it, make it look good. And I also want to paint the cabin as well. That's one of my projects coming up, is to paint this cabin maybe like a dark brown, maybe build a little railing around the porch and just make it look a little bit nicer. There's so many things I want to do, but like I said, a lot of the stuff I've done hasn't really cost me anything. So let's take a look inside, show you guys around inside here. As you can see, we're able to watch TV. That's all run off this little solar setup my buddy brought up here, so you can flip it off, flip it on. You got a cheap little Walmart inverter.
Well, someone else has the Canadian work ethic.
You can pause it. So one of the first things I did before we actually moved this little building up here is I knew having the power down there in the city where we live at, right next to my granddad's business, that it'd be a lot easier to build some of this type of stuff like this before we actually had it delivered. My granddad's business was right next door to my parents' house, and he had a sawmill. He had some big cedar logs laying around. We were able to cut those cedar logs into the, we were able to measure them, cut them. I actually cut the sheetrock out and bolted or screwed these beams across to create the loft. And then I was able to use the rest of the cedar and cover the wall back up, which I thought gave it a really cool look. And I also took some of the extra cedar and framed out the windows as well. It's a little dark in here, but you can see I just framed out the windows with a little bit of cedar. Built that loft out of cedar in these steps. And then I was able to take some little limbs and logs that my granddad had laying around and build this little railing just so the kids, when they're up there sleeping or playing, ain't gotta worry about them falling. And I use these lag bolts to screw into the bottom of each one of them. That way this thing's sturdy as can be, and they hang on it, play on it, stuff like that. So, as I was saying though, everything is ran off the solar power pretty much in the cabin. The TV, the lights that we have, we've got a light switch here that runs the little string lights up top, which don't really do a whole lot. And then he wired in this little thing here, that way we can plug in and charge our cell phones, which works out. Like I said, you can come up here, you can watch TV, you can charge your cell phones, I can charge my cameras. It's just really self-efficient. I have a small little Harbor Freight 2-cycle generator, which works out amazing. We can run an air conditioner in the summertime. This thing is fully insulated. We can run an air conditioner, we can run this hot plate, we can run this toaster oven, and the way we heat it is this little buddy heater. This is something my granddad bought me for Christmas a few years ago. It just runs off propane, and it actually heats this place up. I've got a CO2 detector, I've got a smoke alarm, and I've got a fire extinguisher. So we try to be as safe as possible up here. A lot of times I've got that sitting outside, out through the window. It's vented. Got a vent up here. We've got a little vent up here in the corner that I've actually peeled back that way it gets a little bit of circulation during the colder months when we're running this heater. The way we wash our dishes or we clean the kids' feet off is I fill this 5-gallon jug up at home and I bring it up here, and we've got this pump sprayer. And we just, that's pressurized water. We're able to clean our feet. We're able to clean our dishes. We've got dishwashing liquid, all that different stuff. And then this is actually an old dartboard my granddad had as I was growing up. And when his little shed got demolished, I was able to salvage this and turn it into a shelf just for up here. And that's where we keep a lot of our bug spray for the summer, aluminum foil, toilet paper, extra batteries, cooking oil, bug fogger, and stuff like that. But yeah, really cool little place. Like I said, really simple. We got a futon. That's where we sleep. We got another little bed. We've got extra covers. We've got these chairs. So I built this up here under the loft with just some wood that I cut, and we're able to store these little fold-out chairs so when we're wanting to sit by the fire. And I've built a little rack on the side of the wall where we're able to hang like life jackets for the kayaks, our hats, extension cord. Got a small ladder. Got this chest where we keep like board games and stuff like that when we want to come up. The kids can color and play. Got different board games and stuff in there. Just something to do. I try to leave the cell phones at home. The kids, they have their own little video games and cell phones. We make them leave them at home, and obviously we bring ours just in case anything was to happen. But a lot of this stuff has come from the property. Squirrel hunting. These shelves come out of the old trailer. A lot of this stuff come out of the old trailer that was down there. These little oil lanterns, these old hats were my granddad's dad's, so my great grandfather's hats that were up here. A lot of this different saws and stuff come out of the stuff up here. And this is just a little storage. We keep paint, extra wires, and whatever we need to store all stays up there in that little loft. It's a much smaller, obviously you can't get up there. Let's get up here and look at the little loft. It's actually, I'm not exactly sure the width, but I'm gonna say probably 5 foot, maybe 6 foot width, and then the building's 10 foot wide, so it's a 10 by 20 building. But it's so spacious. You know, there's 5 of us, and we have no problem coming up here, staying, and having tons and tons and tons of room. Got a little bookshelf that I put up here. And I took some of that old metal off of the trailer and put it up on the wall just to kind of hide some of the insulation that was behind it. Looks pretty cool. So if you see me, I'm up here sitting. I'm sitting in this chair, this little cot that the kids lay on. So it's perfect for the kids, but I left enough space where you could kind of walk underneath it. But there was enough space where, like, if one of the adults want to come up here and lay back, read a book, you still got plenty of room over your head to sit, to be able to sit up here. And it's perfect for the kids. This is one of their favorite little spots to come up here and play. When they have their cousins up, they come up here, they run around, and they mainly play up here on this little loft. And like I said, you got quite a bit of room up here. So I'm gonna get back down here and show y'all a few more things and wrap this little video up. Like I said, I just wanted to give you all a quick little tour of the place, and we really enjoy it. We have fun up here. It's simple, but there are a lot of things that I'm wanting to do. Like I said, I want to redo the floors. I'd like to put wood floors in, and instead of this sheetrock, I'd like to do some type of wood slabs or something on the walls, just to make it look a little more like a cabin. You know, it's sitting up here in the middle of the woods, and yeah, I just think it would look a little bit better. But that's definitely something that would be a pretty big project, and it still looks good. But it's something that, you know, maybe I'll do in the future. So yeah, I'm gonna climb down from this loft really quick. And when you're laying on this bed is when you can really tell. I mean, you've got a lot of space in this little cabin when you're laying back here. And you've got plenty of room. This thing, you got tons of space above you. Little storage, and then just a big open room. It works out perfect for all of us. We love it. But like I said, I've still got a lot of plans, a lot of ideas, and a lot of things that I want to do. It's really never ending. So yeah. And the cool thing is, you know, in the morning you wake up, have you a coffee, you can step right out here on the porch and sit at the water, because it is literally right on it. So what's up, Josiah? So thank you all for clicking on this video and watching it. Like I said, just a super quick little tour. We just come up here really fast. Obviously, I want to make a lot more videos up here showing some of the progress, some of the other ideas we got. I'm hoping, I haven't done it or reached out to them yet, but I've got a battery company that I kind of work with for my kayak fishing. I would like to update my batteries for the cabin. I would like to get a bigger inverter, that way we could power a little bit more and just have a little more electricity and power up here at the cabin, so we could, you know, maybe have a small refrigerator when we come up here. Because right now when we come up, we usually bring a little cooler, you know, with drinks. We usually only stay a couple nights, but just being able to flip a switch, turn on a small refrigerator, have all of our electrical working, cell phones and everything would be really cool. And before I end this video, I want to show you all this little thing that they actually sent me that works really awesome up here. Is this little power pack. And if you watch, when I flip it on, it powers this little lamp underneath this loft. So we can charge our cell phones on it. We can run This will actually power our TV and our DVD player and everything just off this little battery pack. It's something they just sent me. It's really awesome, and it's going to be used a lot up here at the little cabin. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and me and the kids are going to hang out for the rest of the day. I've got a few little projects I've got to do, and yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Europe without attracting unwanted attention.